Now back to the Lori Moore Show, only on your CW7.
Our segment is brought to you by Vitaliy Healthcare. Our guest today is an author, radio personality, and speaker for the Foundation of Wellness Professionals. He's a member of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine and American Academy of Environmental Medicine. He's also a board-certified clinical nutritionist. Joining us, the founder of Vitaliy Healthcare in Portage, Dr. Stephen Osterhout. And he knows about Portage. You even have a road named after your family.
We do. We've
You've
been
got
here a long
roots.
time.
You've got roots.
Deep roots.
Right. So a lot of history there, but you're at the very cutting edge of natural health care. Tell us about your approach.
Well, my office is Vitaliy Healthcare, and we're integrated. And what that means is we've taken the best of conventional medicine, and we've integrated it with the best of natural medicine. It's the approach that we identify, detoxify, and heal the underlying reasons why people get sick. Whether you have a headache, fatigue, stomach ache, allergies, we really are solution-oriented. And we even address those more challenging conditions like diabetes and arthritis, IBS, and even heart disease. We're always looking for what the underlying cause or causes are to that condition. A good example is if you have a thyroid condition. You come in as a patient, we do some lab tests, some functional lab tests, and we find out that your thyroid's out of the normal parameters. We might write a prescription for some thyroid medication. We might write a prescription for some natural thyroid medication, but that's not where we stop. We look for, is there a nutritional deficiency? Maybe the thyroid doesn't have the molecules it needs to make the hormones. We look for maybe everyday chemicals that we're exposed to that might shut down the production of those hormones. And of course, we always look for autoimmune situations. Is the body, the own immune system, attacking the thyroid and shutting down its production? That's our approach with almost any condition you can think of.
So you don't want to cover things up. You don't want to take an aspirin and feel better. You want to see what's going on here.
Absolutely. It's really that approach that we look for the underlying condition, we identify what the cause is, detoxify, and then heal the reason or reasons why that condition exists. It is a long-term, solution-oriented approach that creates empowerment and lifestyle changes.
You have an interesting story yourself on your own health journey.
I do. When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And when I was 20, I had open heart surgery. Yet I still was sick. And so I learned to appreciate conventional medicine for what it could do, but I also realized what it couldn't do. And my early impression of life growing up was I had symptoms. I had headaches, fatigue, stomach aches, allergies. And when I had my open heart surgery at 20, I said, I need some answers. I need to find solutions to why we get sick. Now, at the time, I was a sophomore at Western Michigan University in the engineering program. I immediately transferred out of the engineering program and went into the pre-med program. And I started to investigate other categories of medicine. I studied Ayurvedic medicine in India, natural healing in Brazil, and I spent my summers in Mexico in one of the most advanced cancer clinics in the world. I witnessed firsthand how there are root causes to every illness, and that symptoms are merely the body's way of expressing them.
So do you find by studying all different kinds of medicine, you're seeing there's something to be found in each type?
That's it. There's just not one solution. If there was, there'd only be one kind of doctor. So that goes back to that integration. We need to grab the good bits and pieces from every practice and add that in to get the kind of healing we want.
One of the proponents of this that we all are familiar with is Suzanne Summers.
No.
She's always preaching the natural health, and you've had the opportunity to meet her.
Yeah, this past summer I spoke at Harvard, and I educated top CEOs and doctors from around the country on integrated medicine. But I got to share the stage with Suzanne Summers, who has an incredible success story integrating and using integrated medicine. She's really quite brilliant, and it was a pleasure to be with her.
Yeah. So people that come to see you, do they just see you? Do they have their family doctor as well? Do they have how does that all work?
We try to coordinate and work with their primary care doctor. Even though we have primary care capability, we try to work with their specialist, because in this integrated approach, we're looking for things that nobody else is looking for. It's an integrated functional medicine, natural approach, because we always want to get down to those root causes.
You talked about, finding deficiencies and things. How do you go about doing that? Are there tests for that?
Yeah, actually, we have a plethora of tests. And yes, we can do the conventional test. but really we look towards that functional medicine test that identifies, are you out with your nutritional deficiencies? Are you out of the normal parameters? We look for the other issues that are going on that really are kind of glossed over or not paid attention to by the conventional community. Even though we appreciate that, we'll look for food sensitivities. We'll look for chemical sensitivities and reactivity. We'll even look for heavy metal toxicity. We go to those other places because we know those cultivate and contribute to every health issue you have.
Boy, that's been in the headlines so much, too, about what's in our water and all of that, so top of mind for a lot of people. You do seminars every other Thursday.
Yes.
At your office.
Yes.
Tell us about those.
Well, this is my passion. It saved my life, this integrated approach. And so I do seminars around the country, but also every other Wednesday I try to educate as many of our population, as many of the public as we can, to let them know that there's solutions to their health issues, because lots of people don't know that there's other options besides just being medicated their whole life. So that's for people who are watching the program. You can call my office, and if you're in this area, we're going to take care of you. If you're not in this area, call our office, and we'll set you up with an integrated doctor in your area. I want everyone, my mission, my goal is to make sure everybody has an opportunity to have an integrated approach.
You can read more on Facebook. You have a huge staff. We can learn more about your office and your approach. Dr. Osterhout, thank you so much.
Thank you
for joining us today.
It's great being here.
Our trivia question today. In 1850, something happened that this choir in 1941 was celebrating in song. What was it? You can maybe get a hint from what they're wearing. We'll tell you when we come back on The Lori Moore Show on your CW7.
Follow The Lori Moore Show on Facebook.